Good morning. Thank you so much for joining the LEAP information session for Cohort 6. My name is Adrian Spires. I'm a LEAP coordinator here at California Coalition Against Sexual Assault. I would like to first introduce the LEAP team. And the LEAP team consists of Sandra Henriquez, the CEO of California Coalition Against Sexual Assault, and Leah Aldridge, who's the program director. Myself, I'm in the middle, Adrian Spires. I'm a LEAP coordinator and a project coordinator here at CALCASA. And to the far right, our partners from Women of Color Network, WOCN Incorporated, Elise Moore and Samaya Coleman. I just would like to share some photos of our LEAP leaders from previous cohorts and our current cohort. We have LEAP leaders from Cohort 1. That cohort took place from 2014 to 2015. That was the inaugural cohort. We have Cohort 2 from 2015 to 2016. Cohort 3 from 2016 to 2017. Cohort 4 from 2017 to 2018. And our current cohort is Cohort 5. They started this year in 2019, and their fellowship will end in 2020. LEAP is a project that is in partners with the partnership that consists of CALCASA and the Women of Color Network Incorporated. This web conference, I will cover the catalyst for the LEAP program, the overview, which would consist of the LEAP program goals, the program structure, and the program application requirements. So I would like to say the landscape of LEAP started with the need for a survey. The Women of Color Network observed that there was a trend in the fact that women of color were being terminated, asked to leave, also requested to resign, and they were not being able to receive promotions for executive roles. The women of color executives that were in these positions, decision-making positions, had very few people they could look to for mentorship or coaching. So there was an actual article that was in the Catalyst, from the Catalyst organization in 1999, my apologies. And the study found that for women of color, there was a lack of informal networking, role models who women of color would have opportunity to build relationships with. There was also a notice of high visibility assignments that women of color were not being assigned, and there was a lack of influential mentors, and that caused greater barriers for job advancements for women of color. So after the observation, the Women of Color Network, they embarked on a project that was funded by Men's Foundation for Women, and the project allowed them to host focus groups throughout the United States and some of our 4 territories, asking and recording the experience of women of color in the anti-sexual violence movement relating to executive roles, being asked to resign, being prompted to resign, then exited from the organization, as well as exiting from the actual field. And so Gaining Ground, Breaking Through is a product of the observation and the focus group that was hosted by women of color and various other organizations that supported this observation and this study, and CALCASA is one of the organizations. And this is how we became this partner for the LEAP program to address the actual outcomes and the findings from the focus groups and the actual report, Gaining Ground, Breaking Through. So I'm going to go into the goals for the LEAP program. The goals for the LEAP program, we really want to make sure that we're able to build upon and enhance the professional capacity of women of color, executive directors, senior directors, and senior managers in the anti-violence women's program. We also want to make sure that we're able to create a community support and professional network for emerging women of color, as well as women of color that's in these executive roles. We want to maximize the skills development, because another issue that came out of the observations and the focus groups and the Gaining Ground report was that a lot of women of color told us they did not possess core foundational skills that they needed to embody and how in order to be promoted. And so some of those skill sets consist of finance and budget, not knowing how to read a budget or have access to budgets and finance. They did not have experience when it came to human resources. They did not have experience when it came to resource development, as well as program sustainability, program evaluation. And so those particular areas of focus are some of the core foundational focuses here for the LEAP program, to make sure that the women of color have access to those foundational skills to make sure that they can become successful executive leaders. Also, the program wants to make sure that we optimize the success and effectiveness of emerging women of color leaders by providing opportunities to impact spheres of influences throughout the communities. And one way is through the Pay It Forward component of the program, and I will go a little more deeper into that further on through this informational session. So the structure of the LEAP program, you can see on the screen that there's this circular structure. And so right in the middle is a 12-month fellowship. So this project is 12 months, and we expect for the applicants and the fellows to fully participate. Also, there's an intensive and active coaching component. The coaching component consists of individual coaching as well as group coaching. We also have a distance learning component that consists of web conferences, and we also have an in-person training. And we refer to the in-person training as academies. So we have two academies. Academy 1 consists of 3 days, and that is hosted here in Los Angeles, California. And Academy 2, we have started hosting those throughout the U.S. And so we will most definitely, once the cohort starts, we will provide that information where Academy 2 will be held. So that is the structure of the LEAP program. So now I'm going to talk about the applicant requirements. The requirements to submit an application: you must first self-identify as a person of color, currently have a role of executive director or senior director or senior manager at an organization addressing violence against women, currently an executive director, senior director, or senior management position for at least 1 year at the organization where you are currently employed, have experience supervising staff at an organization, show a commitment to demonstrate experience and track record in the sexual assault and or domestic violence intervention and prevention field, and developing diverse agencies and programs that include women of color and individuals from underserved and underrepresented communities. And once again, the applicant requirement is you must fully commit to the LEAP 12-month program period in the requirements. Another component of the LEAP program, we do offer scholarships. However, we have limited scholarships. The scholarships covers in-person training, travel and lodging expenses, and we also provide scholarships to organizations and individuals that work in this movement but do not receive any funding from the U.S. Department of Justice, Office on Violence Against Women, the OVW, and they're not receiving any, they're not an actual grantee, or your organization does not have other source of funding. So we want to make sure that we welcome and have opportunity to have diverse fellows in this program, and even for people who do not receive funding from OVW, but they're doing the work. So I'm going to just briefly talk about the expectations and opportunities. Once again, we cannot emphasize the importance of full participation. We want to make sure that the fellows are able to truly capitalize off the program and the structure and all that it has to offer. We also have a very important part of the impact project, which is the Pay It Forward, as I mentioned earlier. And this is the opportunity to build off the observation and the focus groups, the WOCN, and also build off the Gaining Ground report. The purpose of the Pay It Forward is for the LEAP fellows to share all the information that they were able to grasp and be introduced to as a fellow. And so they will have the opportunity to go out and share all the information that they learned during their fellowship. And so that could be in the form of trainings within the community, in the form of blogs they could write. And this is an opportunity to build a network, share the wealth, and to build upon the lack of mentorship and the coaching and exposure to the core foundational areas that a lot of the women were told that they did not embody nor that they possess during the interviews and the Gaining Ground report. So we also want to make sure that we also have a respectful learning community and that everyone is open to work and with their fellows, as well as be a part of this networking opportunity. So we have to make sure that the learning community is respectful. So now I would just like to talk about the LEAP program timeline. So the application process opened Monday, September 9th, and the close date is October 10th, 2019. The LEAP team will review the applications and facilitate interviews during the month of October and November, and the selected applicants will be notified November 26th of 2019, and we would like for the applicants to save the date for Academy 1 for January 28th through the 30th, 2020, and that will be hosted here in Los Angeles, California. So, as you can see on the screen, we have Apply Now, LEAP Leaders Join Us, and you can find this on our LEAP page. That is www.calcasa.org. www.calcasa.org/LEAP. And then that will bring you to this page, and you will be able to submit your application from this particular website, and or you can go directly to the SurveyMonkey and submit your application from there. And you can see the link for the SurveyMonkey below as well. And so I would also like to let you know that if you have any questions, any concerns, please feel free to give me a call, as well as you can email me. You can see that my phone number is below on this page, 916-446-2520, extension 305, and you can email me as well. My email address is aspires, ASPIRES, @calcasa.org. So feel free to give me a call and or email me. My office hours are normally 8:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. I look forward to receiving your application. I look forward to having conversations with you if you have any questions and or concerns. I would like to thank you again for joining the LEAP informational session for Cohort 6, and I really appreciate your continued interest in becoming a LEAP Fellow. Thank you. Have a great day.